evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to another rendition of Maurice's Nubian romance novels. And tonight we are almost at the end of Them Zeve's Daughters. Yes. And so on Wednesday, I rendered chapters 19 and 20. And just to give you a little background on that, Jolene, we found out, is really spiritually gifted. She's a healer. She's a little angel. You know, you should be very careful about people you meet because you never know when you are actually entertaining an angel. Yes. So be kind to those around you. And so I am going to go ahead and begin with chapter 21 of Vam's Eve's Daughters. Weeks passed as Jolene laid in her hospital bed unconscious. Marcus had been keeping a constant vigilance of prayer at her bedside. Eve entered the room and saw that Marcus was in the same position she had left him in 2 hours ago, on his knees. She knew he needed a break. She had just come back from checking on the house and on her other daughters. Marcus looked up when she touched his shoulder. Eve leaned down, kissed him tenderly on the lips, and told him that he needed to take a break. She comforted him by telling him that she would not leave Jolene's side. Marcus had not walked out of the door but seconds before Jolene had awoken. Mama, baby, honey, I'm here, Jolene. Mama's right here, Eve said, rushing to her bedside. Oh, Jolene, honey, you about scared me to death. How are you feeling, baby? She asked, caressing the silver patch in her hair. I'm tired, Mama. I'm real tired. Where's Daddy? At that very moment, Marcus walked back into Jolene's hospital room. I can't do it, Eve. I can't leave. What if I leave and she wakes up and I'm not here? I can't. I can't leave. Daddy, hey, Daddy, Jolene said weakly. Marcus turned his gaze onto Jolene. Lord have mercy, Jolene. Jolene smiled brightly and held out her arms. Marcus immediately engulfed her in his arms and cried cheers of joy. Lord God, thank you. You don't sleep and you don't slumber. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for bringing my baby home. Jolene squeezed Marcus and he held her tightly. I was in hell, Daddy. It's an awful place. When I got tired, I could hear you praying for me. It gave me strength, Daddy. Lord, have mercy, Jolene. Have mercy. It's okay, Daddy. It wasn't bad for me. Michael took good care of me, and your grandmama helped me too. I got tired, and I looked up, and she was standing there right beside me, Daddy. She was fighting with me. Oh, God, Jolene. Oh, Jolene. Even Marcus repeated. You were really in hell, Joe? Mm-hmm. I had to go. I had to go and do battle and save our family. I had to. Everybody got to repent, though. Everybody. Your great grandma, Reverend, told me to tell you that you had to repent too, because you're a reverend and you shouldn't be doing what you're doing with Mama. Oh, Jolene. At that moment, Samantha walked in the room. Hey, Sam. Joe. Oh my goodness, Jolene, you're awake, Samantha said, running to the side of her bed. Hey, Sam. Oh, Joe, how are you? You feel okay? Yep, I feel good. How's Solomon? How's Solomon? He was here yesterday, Joe, playing in your hair. Oh, Jolene, I missed you so much. I love you. I love you, Joe. I know, Sam. I love you too. Mama. Yes, baby. Yes. What do you need? I seen my real daddy down there, Mama. Eve inhaled deeply. It's okay, Mama. I know he wasn't a good man. I know he was mean to you too, Mama. I saw Camille's daddy down there too. I had to take him out. What do you mean, Joe? He was fixing to hurt Mel. He been trying to hurt her leg so she can't run no more, Mama. That's why Mel's legs been bothering her a whole lot. She just ain't told you. Eve burst into tears. Mama, why didn't you tell me that your daddy treated you the way he did? Eve looked up. He ain't your real daddy, you know, Mama. As a matter of fact, them people who raised you, they weren't your real parents at all. That's why he saw fit to touch you, Mama. I took care of him too. Samantha ain't your sister, Mama. She's your daughter. Thank you, Jesus, Eve cried, suddenly feeling the weight of almost 18 years of anguish lifted off of her shoulders. It was him, Darren, who put something awful around the house, Mama. But I'm going to take care of it. But I took care of that already, Jolene said, caressing Eve's face. He didn't really put the spell on you. He put the spell on your mama so as that she could never have another man in that house. When you moved in after you got married, that curse transferred over to you. Marcus looked at Eve. Baby, Eve, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you say something? I couldn't, Marcus. I didn't know how. I was too ashamed. What was I supposed to say? That Samantha is my sister and my daughter, too? All these years I had struggled with that. Samantha embraced her mother and her heart ached for Eve. Now she understood why sometimes Eve acted as though they were girlfriends sharing intimate secrets with one another, and then in the next second, pulling rank. Those days always confused her. Mama, you mean to tell me all these years you thought I was your sister? Yes, yes, Eve replied through her tears. And all this time you never said anything. Mama, that's a lot of weight for you to carry. You should have said something. Something, Mama. Now wait, Samantha. Hold up now. Give your mother a minute to catch her breath, baby. Marcus intervened as he handed Eve some facial tissue. Thank you. Thank you, Marcus. I declare. Oh, I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't mean to push you. It's okay, baby. But why, why'd he rape you, Ma? Why'd he do that to you? Because he found out about me and Don Powell. He said I wasn't no more good. He said it would have been better if Don Powell had raped me than for me to just give myself to him. He said I wasn't nothing except a hoe from that moment on. And since that's what I was, he was going to treat me like one. Mm, mm, mm. I fought him. I fought him as best I could. I couldn't believe my own father was doing this to me. But he wasn't your daddy, Mama, Jolene interjected. I know that now, baby. I know that now. But I didn't know that back then. So, what happened, Mama? My mama shot him, Eve said, staring off into space. She walked in the room and shot him dead while he was on top of me. I just laid there, covered in his blood. It was just running all over me. Mama and Maybelle's mama, Aunt T, pulled them off for me. Then they sat me in the tub and washed me clean. Nobody said a word the whole while. They was just washing and washing me, Eve said, as she rubbed her arms and looked into empty space as if she could see the scene folding before her. It wasn't until a few days later they tried to get me to eat and talk. I was in shock, I guess. Mama told me it wasn't my fault and for me to just forget it ever happened and move on. She said that if folks started asking about Daddy, to just tell them that he walked off. Hell, it wasn't no secret that they was fighting and carrying on so all the time. She said folk would believe he finally just got fed up and left. And that's exactly what happened. Nobody ever questioned it. Things kind of got back to normal, but then the next thing I knew, my mama died. And then I didn't have anywhere to go, so Aunt T, Maybelle's mama, took me in. Everyone in the room was silent. They were all trying to take in everything Eve had just told them. Jolene, ma'am. So it was my daddy Darren who put the curse on me? No, Mama. He really put the curse on your mama. So she would never have another man up in that house. He was going to leave y'all anyway, even before your mama shot him. That's why all your husbands died, Mama. He wanted to make sure no other man could live in that house. Jolene, do you know who my real parents are? No, Mama, but you can take comfort in knowing that your mama, she really, really loved you. You don't have to be concerned about that, Mama. Your mama loved you like you were her very own. Eve just sat in silence. Marcus stood beside her and held her in his arms. He could feel her pain. He held her tight and told her, I'm here, baby. I got you, Eve. I got you. A couple of days later, Doc David ran more tests and concluded that Jolene was all right. Eve went home to prepare a celebration dinner for her family, while Marcus and Zeus sat with Jolene. While she was home, she decided to call Don Paul and tell him that it was time to bring Solomon home. Her house had been completely renovated. Hello, hello, Margaret, it's Eve. Margaret was silent. Margaret, pardon me, Eve. You just took me by surprise. I assume you called to speak to Blaine. No. I called to speak to Don Paul. Hold on, Eve. I'll get him. Eve heard Margaret calling for Don Paul. I got it, Margaret. You can hang up the phone now. Hey, Eve. How you doing? She ain't hung up the phone, Don Paul. Margaret, what she got to say to you that I can't hear? Huh? What this conversation get ready to be about? Margaret, Don Paul, Margaret, I left my grandson in Don Paul's care, not yours. Margaret slammed down the telephone. Sorry about that, baby. What's up? Your house back in order? Jolene good? What's going on? Yeah, as a matter of fact, Jolene is fine. She's awake. Naomi is good. I tell you, Don Paul, my house is better than new. Folk been mighty generous. Yes, they have. How's my baby doing? You talking about me or Solomon? He asked, chuckling. Solomon, Don Paul. I swear, boy, you so silly, she said, laughing with him. He's good, real good. I swear it's been a joy having him here for these few weeks, Eve. He's done brought some life back into this house. Yeah, yeah, girl, please. I ain't seen so many folk over here in years. It's been a long time. Most of them came just to be nosy. But once Solomon flashes that smile on them, it's all over, he said proudly. Well, I'm glad, Don Paul. You wasn't worried, was you, Eve? Not as long as you got breath in your body. No, I wasn't. When you gonna let me taste you again, girl? Now, Don Paul, what? I ain't calling you for that now. I'm calling to tell you that it's time for you to bring my baby on home. The house is all done. All right, but you still ain't answered my question. Now, Don Paul could tell that Eve wanted him. He knew how to get next to her. Eve Sinclair. Don't you say it. Don't you do it. Now, Don Paul, stop it. Please, please. Eve. Don Paul, baby, you driving me crazy. I love Marcus. I do. And I love you. And I know you love me too. Tell me you don't and you lie. Eve inhaled and exhaled deeply. Don Paul, please. All right, all right. We can discuss it later. What time you want me to bring him home? 6 would be good. Can I stay for dinner? Don Paul, Eve, please. I can taste you, girl. Don Paul, you driving me crazy. I can't make love to you and Marcus too. I ain't even let him kiss me since I've been making love to you. Good. Don Paul, that's not good. I'm his woman. Me and Marcus are getting married, Don Paul. Don Paul was silent. How you gonna marry him when you know you love me, Eve? Look, I can't discuss this, Don Paul. These last few weeks with you have been wonderful, but you're tearing me up inside. Don Paul, I- me and you, baby, we've been making love every day. Hell, sometimes twice a day for almost 3 weeks. Now, this has just got to stop. It just has got to stop. We'll discuss it later. I'll have Solomon home by 6. Don Paul, please don't sound that way. How do you expect me to sound, Eve? I love you. And I love you too, but then how come we can't be together, huh? How come we can't be together? Eve could tell that he was fighting back tears. Her heart ached for him. You're right, Don Paul. You're right. Let's not discuss it. Is Marcus gonna be there tonight when I drop Solomon off? Yes, he will be here. So I can't stay alone with you just for a little while. No, baby. I mean, Don Paul. No, you can't. Eve, girl, what am I gonna do without you? This time, Eve was silent. Eve. We'll discuss it later, Don Paul. Please bring Solomon home. I am. Can I bring him back? Can I bring him back here? Yes, Don Paul. I will never try and keep you from him. I know you love Solomon just as much as I do. I know you do. Well, thank you. You're welcome, Don Paul. I'll see you at 6. Eve hung up the phone, sat down at the kitchen table, and put her head in her hands. What's wrong, Eve? Eve looked up and saw Marcus standing before her. Oh my God. Please tell me he ain't been standing there. Please tell me, Lord, he didn't hear that conversation. She looked in his eyes and knew that he had indeed overheard her conversation. She could see his pain. Marcus, Marcus, baby, I'm so sorry. I swear, I swear to you, I don't even know how it happened. Do you love him? He asked as he sat beside her and took her hands. Eve started to lie, but she was tired of all of the deceit she had inflicted upon him. Yes, I do, but not like I love you. I don't expect you to believe me, Marcus, or understand, but I swear to God in heaven, I love you with all I got. Then why, baby? Why have you been making love to Don Paul when you know I'm just waiting until we get married? You supposed to be waiting too. Eve put her head down in shame. Eve, I promised the Lord that I wouldn't touch you until we were married. I promised him that if he would heal Jolene, I would be his humble servant. He's done all that I have asked of him and more. He brought her back to me, to us, to this family. Ain't no way in the world I would break my vow to him. I can't do it. Eve burst into tears as shame washed over her. She was having an affair with Don Paul while Marcus was still praying for the complete recovery of her daughter. Lord have mercy, Marcus. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you going to leave me, Eve? Eve looked at Marcus with disbelief. She couldn't believe he would still want her. Leave you? What do you mean, leave you? You mean you still want me? You would still have me as your wife after what I've done? Girl, I love you. Ain't no way in the world I give you up that easily because of a mistake? What I look like judging you when I did the same thing to you a while back and you forgave me? You ain't never one time put it back in my face, neither, when I was unfaithful to you. Never put it in my face. But but Marcus, that was different. Mm-mm. No, no, it wasn't. It wasn't different. I wasn't completely honest with you, Eve. But ain't no way in the world I can let you sit here in this pain and not tell you the truth. Yeah, you could have lied to me about your relationship with Don Paul, but you didn't. And you don't know how much I appreciate that. Eve, I'm a preacher. I'm a man of God, but I'm still a man with strong desires. And Lord knows when it come to you, girl, I get weak. When I told you I had been with a woman just to see if something was wrong with me, now that part was true. That was true. What I didn't tell you was that after I realized that there wasn't nothing wrong with me, I picked back up with the woman I had before I met you. Oh, no, you didn't, Eve said to herself. The same woman that I've had all along. I had given her up for you, but when I realized I couldn't make love to you no more, I turned back to her because I was in my flesh. You don't know how much I hated deceiving you all that time, being able to look at you and hold you, look in your eyes every time and see how much you wanted me. And I couldn't please you as a man. Gosh, Marcus, we are in a mess. No, we're not. You still love Don Paul? You love him enough to leave me? No. Do you love me? Do you still want to be my wife, Eve? Yes, Marcus, I still love you. And yes, baby, I want to be your wife. And how do you feel about Don Paul? Is he going to come between us? No, I don't want to lose you, Marcus. He's not going to come between us. It's over. But you love him. It's different, Marcus. If things had been different, yes, I would have married him 19 years ago. But things didn't work out that way. Being with him is like going back to another time when I was innocent and in love for the first time. I'll always feel something special for him, Marcus. I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. But I don't love him like I love you. Please believe me. Marcus kissed Eve and felt that yearning passion that he had felt so many times before, and he pulled away from her. Marcus, please don't pull away from me. You talk about your desires as a man. What about my desires as a woman? Don't they mean nothing? She said, sitting on his lap and tenderly kissing his face. I want you to make love to me, baby, all day and all night. Marcus gently pushed Eve away from him. Eve, I can't touch you until you my wife. I ain't breaking my vow to God for you or nobody. Please don't ask me to do that. Then let's get married. Let's get married right now. No. But Eve, Eve, you just trying to marry me because you want someone to make love to on a regular? Hell, for that matter, you could continue to sleep with Don Paul if that's all you want from me. Eve rose from his lap and left the kitchen to refrain from slapping his face. Marcus could see the look in her hurt eyes. He knew he had just offended her, and he quickly went after her. Take your hands off me. Get off me, she said, struggling against him. How dare you talk to me that way, she screamed at him. Please, please, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, he said, holding her tightly against him. I'm sorry. Eve cried heavily in his arms as Marcus prayed to God for guidance in this moment. Baby, Eve, I've got to know that you love me and want me, and that our relationship is built more on than just the flesh. Do you love me, Eve? Marcus the man. Me, Eve. I do, Marcus. Baby, what more do you want from me? I would have married you months ago, but you didn't ask. You never asked. I know. I was afraid, Eve. I was afraid because of the sickness. But Jolene has gotten everything straight now. So I want us to do it right, girl. I want you proper, Eve. I want a church wedding with our friends around to celebrate. I want the girls all dolled up. I want folk fellowshipping with us, rejoicing with us for our new life, Eve. Girl, I want you for the rest of my life. I want a honeymoon, Eve, so we can see whose desire is for real stronger. Eve relaxed against him, and Margaret held her tight. Marcus held her tight. I'm sorry, baby. I swear I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's okay. I know you didn't. I'm so sorry, Marcus. I'm so sorry I got us into this. Hush now, hush. Ain't nothing for you to be sorry for. Are you finished with Don Powell? Yes, I'm finished with Don Paul. Are you finished with your lover? Yes, I'm finished with Vanessa. You want me to tell him that you through? No, baby, I can tell him. He's bringing Solomon home tonight at 6. You want me to talk to Vanessa? Eve said her name with great exaggeration. Marcus laughed. Not on your life. Mm-mm. I got that. You take care of Don Paul. I'll take care of Vanessa. Okay, baby. We gonna be all right, aren't we? We gonna be better than all right. Thank you, Marcus. I love you. Nah, baby. Thank you. Eve was upstairs putting fresh sheets on Solomon's bed when she heard a knock on the door. Her heart began to beat rapidly because she knew it was Don Powell. She told herself to be strong and not to give in to his wishes. She was weak for him, though, and she knew it. Eve checked her appearance in the hallway mirror before she went downstairs and answered the door. Just a minute, Eve called as she came down. Don Powell? It's me. Eve opened the door to a smiling Solomon and Don Powell. Nana! Oh, Nana! Solomon exclaimed as he reached out for her. Oh, my baby boy, look at you. Oh, I missed you so much. You look like you grew in just 3 weeks, Eve exclaimed as she held him tightly in her arms and smothered him with kisses. How you doing, Don Paul? She said, putting him down. They both watched Solomon run to his favorite horse in front of the window. House looks good, Eve. Thanks. I appreciate your contribution toward the paint and the new floors, Don Paul. You didn't have to do that. Aw, that was the least I can do. Where's everybody? Oh, the girls went to watch Camille practice at the track. I assume Samantha's with Blaine. Yes, ma'am. Where's Marcus? Oh, he stepped out for a spell. Don Paul, please, 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 Eve said as she backed away from him. Baby, I miss you. Don Paul, we have got to talk. Eve, no, no, Don Paul, please. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I love Marcus. And he knows Don Paul, Eve said, looking at him squarely in the eyes. Knows what? About us. You told him? He asked with a contorted expression. I had to, Don Paul. I didn't realize he was in the house and he overheard our conversation. Ain't no way in the world I could have ever got out of it. He didn't hurt you, did he? He asked, scanning her body for bruises. No, baby, he didn't hurt me. He understood. Come again? No, really. Don Paul, we really need to talk. Eve, I can't lose you again. Not again, he said, taking her hands and kissing them. Eve tried to withdraw her hands, but Don Paul held them tight against his face. Eve, listen to me, please. Don Paul, baby, I can't do this anymore. I love Marcus. I should have never laid with you. It wasn't right what we've been doing. What do you mean what we've been doing wasn't right? It couldn't be better between us, Eve. Please, baby, don't do this to me. Don Paul, please don't do this. You're making this so hard. How can you leave me, Eve, when you know how much I love you? You know I would die for you, girl. I'll take care of you, your children, your Solomon, your whole family, Eve. Y'all won't have to work or ask for nothing. You won't lack for anything. All you got to do is give the word, girl. Just say it, Eve, and I'm here. You know this is where I want to be. Please don't send me away. Eve, girl, you the reason, baby. You the reason I even wake up in the morning. You the reason I have desire and hope again. You the reason I ain't miserable every second of my life. Eve, don't take that away from me. I need you, girl, he said, pulling her toward him. Don Paul, please don't do this to me. You can't leave me, Eve. I won't let you. It's taken me almost 20 years to have you again. I can't just walk away from you like ain't nothing ever happened between us. I can't and I won't. Don Paul, it's not easy for me either, but all right. Marry Marcus, marry the Reverend, but don't cut me out. I'll share you. I'll share you. Don Paul, baby, I can't Eve. I will do what you couldn't do for me. I will share you. I'll wait for you. I won't get in your way. I'll see you only when you can see me. I'll be respectful. Just please don't leave me. Go ahead and marry him if you got to, but leave me some of you. I need some of you. I can't be on this earth without you. Not no more. Eve, oh God, Don Paul, I can't ask you to do that. I can't do it. Honey, you deserve better than that. And I don't want to be unfaithful to Marcus anymore. If I were your wife, Don Paul, I would never be unfaithful to you. Baby, don't you understand that we still can't be together? Even if I had never met Marcus, Margaret ain't never gonna let us live in peace, Don Paul. And besides, my children love Marcus. Hell, Jolene calls him daddy. He's been there for me, Don Paul. Please try and understand. Baby, what we've been living off of is the past. What we've been doing is pretending, Don Paul. We pretend all the time. We pretend that Solomon is ours. We pretend that there is nobody else on this earth except for us. We pretend and pretend and pretend. It has got to stop. I want it to stop. And what's so wrong with pretending, huh? What's so wrong with it? I know what it is we doing, Eve. But one thing I know is that I ain't pretending about how much I love you. And I damn sure ain't pretending when I make love to you. I ain't pretending when I hold you in my arms. Eve, don't do this. Don't shut me out. Don Paul, I'm not shutting you out, baby. You can still be involved with Solomon. It just can't involve me. Please try and understand. You are making this so difficult for me. I don't understand, Eve. I don't understand how you could easily step away from me. How can you stop loving me? It's not easy. And I haven't stopped loving you, Don Paul, but then if you love me, don't leave me, he said, trying desperately to hold back his tears. Don Paul dropped to his knees and held Eve tightly about her waist as she held his head tenderly against her breast. Eve could tell that he was trying to be strong. Baby, please understand, she said, gently caressing him. I can't do it no more. We have to stop. For heaven's sakes, Don Paul, you're married. I'll get a divorce. You can't divorce Margaret, Don Paul. That woman will make your life a living hell and mine's right along with it, and you know it. My life is already hell without you, Eve. Don Paul, pretend she's me. Don Paul looked up at Eve. Just pretend she's me. Pretend she's you. Ain't no way in the hell, Don Paul said, rising to his feet. Eve, no, Don Paul, this affair, what we doing, has got to stop. And it's not going to stop unless I make it stop. You can't get from me what I don't give. Eve, no, pretend she's me, Don Paul. It's the only way. Can I make love to you just one more time? Don, just one more time, Eve. Don Paul, no. What's the use in making love to you one more time, baby, when it ain't never gonna be enough for the both of us? It ain't never gonna be enough. Let's just remember what we have shared already. Eve, just one more time. No. Do I have to leave now? Yes, you do, Don Paul. I'm afraid so. Marcus and the kids gonna be home any minute now. I just don't want no drama. Don Paul inhaled deeply and looked at Solomon hard at play. He ran his hand through his thick hair. Damn, Eve, I knew it was gonna come to an end. I was just hoping and praying that it never would. I know, Don Paul, I know, but you gonna be all right. I have no choice now, do I? I gotta be here for him. Thank you for understanding, Don Paul, she said with a bowed head. Don Paul walked to the door and gently closed it. Just one kiss, baby. Please, just one more kiss, he said, lifting her head as he pulled her toward him. Eve caressed his face, then allowed him to engulf her in his arms. As they kissed, Don Paul reminisced of the first kiss they shared, and Eve went back with him, hoping that this kiss would be enough to sustain him for a lifetime. Mm, mm, mm. Girl, I love you. I love you with my last breath. With my last breath, he said, holding her face between his hands as he kissed her tears. Thank you, Eve. Thank you for loving me for as long as you could. Say my name, Don Paul. Just say my name one more time, she cried as she clung to him. I love you, Eve Sinclair Harrison. Don Paul closed his eyes and inhaled her scent deeply, forever embedding it in his memory. I love you too, Don Paul, she said, kissing him again. Please, don't you ever doubt it. I love you. Give me a smile, baby, he said as he opened the door. Eve composed herself and tried to smile for his benefit. Ah, you can do better than that, pretty lady. I know. Give me that beautiful smile. Eve inhaled and exhaled deeply. She summoned the strength somehow to smile brightly for him. That's my girl, he said, winking at her as she smiled at him. Don Paul took one final look at her, then gently closed the door behind him. Don Paul sat in front of his house, dreading going inside. There was no more joy there. Blaine and Solomon were off somewhere. Blaine and Samantha were off somewhere, and Solomon was back home with Eve. Now he had only Margaret to communicate with. What was he going to say to her? What were they even going to talk about? With Solomon there, at least they were always able to talk about him. He was constantly the topic of their conversation. Don Paul shook his head as he pulled his key out of the ignition. Pretend Margaret's you? She don't look nothing like you, don't smell like you, but I'm supposed to pretend she's you. Pretend she's you. The more he thought about Eve, the more his manhood ached to be inside of her. Pretend she's you, he said as he got out of the truck and walked up on the porch and opened his front door. Don Paul entered his house and saw Margaret coming down the hall, carrying a pitcher of freshly squeezed lemonade. Evening, Don Paul. Pretend she's you, he told himself. Evening, Margaret. As Don Paul watched Margaret setting the dinner table, it seemed to him that she was shrinking in stature. The more she moved it, the more she moved, it seemed to him that her frame was changing before his very eyes. As she leaned over to place the glass on the table, it seemed to Don Paul that her behind and her hips grew before him. As she placed her dirty blonde hair behind her ear, exposing a small black birthmark on her face, it seemed to him that that birthmark spread and replaced her pale white skin with smooth dark skin that shined vibrantly. "Ah, Eve," he whispered as he walked toward Margaret. Margaret looked up and realized that Don Paul was coming toward her as if he were in a daze, and she froze. Don Paul looked down upon her as he stood in front of her. Margaret looked up at Don Paul. She was afraid to say anything. Don Paul watched her ice blue eyes turn to a warm dark brown, and he saw all the love that Eve had beaming back at him. He pulled her gently toward him. Margaret knew what he was doing, but the touch she felt was new to her, and she wanted desperately to experience what Eve always felt. Don Paul cupped Margaret's face in his hands. He kissed her tenderly. It seemed to him that with each kiss, her thin lips became fuller and warmer. "I love you, baby," he said, unbuttoning her floral printed house dress and pulled it off her shoulders. Margaret was afraid to respond. She was afraid that Don Paul would realize that she was not Eve, and it had been years since he had touched her. Don Paul picked Margaret up in his arms, carried her up the stairs, and laid her gently on the bed. I can't live without you, Eve. Don't want to live without you," he said as he laid upon Margaret. Margaret raised her legs and wrapped them around his waist, as she had seen Eve do many years ago. Don Paul inserted his manhood inside of her. "Oh, girl, I love you," he said, entwining his hands with hers. "Then love me, Don Paul. I'll be Eve, baby. I'll be Eve," she said, as she closed her eyes and let him take her to pleasures she never knew existed. "Oh, Don Paul. Ah, Eve." Can you imagine that? Wanting your man to love you so desperately, knowing he in love with another woman, knowing he pretending that you the woman he loved. Oh my God, today. She said, "I'll be Eve, Don Paul. I'll be Eve." She a good one, because I wouldn't be Eve. I'm just saying. And chapter 22. My niece. Hey, Kiva Keith. My beautiful, beautiful niece, Shakiva. I love you too, baby. Thank you so much for tuning in. You the only one. But it's okay. Chapter 22. "Good morning, Mrs. Cook," Marcus said as he kissed Eve awake. Eve smiled and embraced him. Good morning, Mr. Cook, she said, giggling. Ah, girl, you are absolutely beautiful. Well, she said, smiling, you need to quit. You hungry, baby? For you, he said, kissing her breast tenderly. Mama! Pandora screamed as she knocked on her parents' bedroom door rapidly. Lord, these kids gonna drive me crazy. What is it, Pandora? Naomi's water done broke. Mama! Naomi howled. Lord have mercy, Marcus, my baby. Both Marcus and Eve jumped out of bed. Mama! I'm coming, Naomi. I'm coming, baby. Oh my God, Marcus. Relax, baby, relax. Everything's gonna be all right, he said, quickly putting on his pants. Eve and Marcus rushed out of the room and dashed down the hallway towards Naomi's room. Oh God, Mama, Mama, it hurts, Naomi cried as she laid in bed. Camille, I'm already gone, Mama. I called Doc David, but his line is busy, Camille said as she dashed by the room and slid down the cherry wooden banister. Oh God, Mama, I had no idea it would feel like this. Breathe, baby, breathe. Mama's here. I'm right here. Oh my God. Oh God, Mama, it hurts. Oh, it hurts, Mama. I know. Breathe, Naomi, breathe. I got the water boiling, Mama, Pandora said as she came in the room and looked at her sister with pity. Nay, Samantha called as she ran up the stairs, two at a time. Nay, Sam, Samantha. Samantha dashed in the room and ran to her sister's side. Oh, Naomi, she said, taking her hand. It hurts. It hurts. I should have listened to you, Sam. I should have listened. Oh, God, it hurts. Oh, God. Breathe, honey, breathe. Breathe, Naomi. Eve, baby, what you want me to do? Marcus asked, walking, pacing, feeling helpless. Call Maybelle, baby, and tell her the baby's on the way. Lord, where is Doc David? Naomi, you okay? Jolene asked as she entered the room carrying pillows. Here you go, Mama. Oh, Joe, please, always listen to Mama, she moaned as she writhed uncontrollably in agony. Maybelle and Cato's on the way, baby, Marcus said, rushing back into the room. Eve, I see feet. Am I supposed to be seeing feet? Lord of mercy, not her too, Eve said as she positioned the pillows underneath Naomi. As Doc David entered the house, he heard Naomi scream, I'm a coming, child, I'm coming, hold on. Lord, when y'all gonna move them children downstairs, he huffed as he climbed the stairs and took a deep breath. Come on, Doc David, hurry! Come on, Jolene coached him. Whew, I'm coming, Joe, I'm coming. I declare you were saying the very same thing to me not 2 years ago. Lead the way, baby, I'm right behind you. They're in Naomi's room, Jolene said, pulling him by the hand. Mother Mary, can't y'all deliver like normal folk? Gracious, y'all know the routine. Come on, let's get moving. Here's your water, Doc David. Well, Miss Pandora, you right on time as usual. I'm going to make sure you get into medical school if it's the last thing I do, he said, rolling up his sleeves. All right now, Naomi, just let me wash my hands. Everything gonna be all right, he said as he poured alcohol, sterilizing his hands. It hurts, Doc David. I know, baby. Now, Nay, this baby coming here the same way Solomon did. Feet first. Now, I'm going to have to put my hand inside of you so I can turn him around. Now, you going to feel some pressure, but don't push until I tell you to. Naomi held her breath as her sisters comforted her. Nay, Naomi, Cato called as he ran up the stairs. Cato! Cato rushed in the room and stopped in his tracks. She gonna be fine, son, just fine, Marcus said, holding him. Samantha moved from her sister's side so Cato could be near her. Naomi reached out for him. Cato went to her side, kissed her hand, and held it tight. You are right, baby. Naomi shook her head no as she squeezed his hand tightly. All right now, Naomi, I want you to push. Right now, child. Push! Naomi inhaled deeply and pushed as hard as she could. Come on, girl. Push! Eve looked at Naomi and knew she didn't have any more energy. So she helped her, just as she helped Samantha. Mama's here, baby. I'm here, she assured her as she got in bed behind her. Bear back on me, baby. Bear back on Mama. I'm here. Come on now. Push, Naomi. Eve coached her as Naomi laid against her. Eve gently pushed herself forward, helping Naomi to bear down, and soon the head was out. Push, Nay! Push! Samantha called to her sister. Here it comes, Marcus yelled. Oh! Here it comes, Naomi. The shoulders are out, child. Push, girl, Doc David said. The worst is almost over. One more. Come on, Naomi. Push. I'm right here, baby. Push, Cato coached her. Come on, baby. Mama's here. I'm right here. Just one more, Naomi. Just one more push, baby. Naomi squeezed Cato's hand and bared down with all of her might. Oh, my God! It's a boy! Maybelle screamed happily. It's a boy! Oh, my Lord, another boy! Samantha screamed with delight. Everyone cheered as the baby roared into the world. Eve looked at Marcus. She could tell that he was praying, and she thanked God for a praying man. Doc David cleaved the baby and gently laid him on Naomi's breast. There you go, child. There you go. Naomi held her baby as tears streamed down her face. Cato cried with her. What's his name, Joe? Cato asked with a bright smile as he wiped his tears away. You mean I can name him too? Yes, ma'am, he said, caressing his son's small, tight fist. Can we call him Noah? Noah Marcus Hairston. Noah Marcus. That sounds like a real good name to me, Joe. Real good. But his last name gonna be Peterson. I'm gonna marry your sister, he said, kissing Naomi's hand. Marcus embraced Eve as he watched Cato take his son in his arms. Eve, girl, I know I can't have children, but I'm going to get to experience being a father, a grandfather, and God willing, woman, a great-grandfather, all because of them's Eve's daughters. Eve looked at Marcus and laughed. All because of who? Girl, don't you know that's what everybody calls your girls? Them's Eve's daughters. They ain't got no names. It's just them's Eve's daughters. Eve shook her head with disbelief and chuckled to herself. Huh, and they better know it. And so that is the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, of chapters 21 and 22. On Tuesday, I will be rendering the final chapter, chapter 23. Yes, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And so we had trouble getting on earlier. And the reason we were having such trouble was because Facebook updated their Google Chrome or what have you. Nonetheless, I really wanted to come on because I needed to conclude on Tuesday, because on Wednesday I start, thank y'all, my book club readers, a private book club reading on Wednesday. And so that is just phenomenal to me. And so I wanted to make sure that I read the chapters tonight so I could read the final one chapter of Them's Eve's Daughters, chapter 23, on Tuesday. And so I just would like to remind you that you can go to www.nubianromance.com and you can get your own personal copy of Them's Eve's Daughters and Angel Fa. And these next three books, Deja Vu Desires, Letters, and Cousins, are for book club members or groups who would like personal readings. I'm starting with a book club, thank goodness, with Cousins on Wednesday with a group of 11 people, 11 members in that group, book club. So I thank you so much for that. And you too can have a personal reading with a group of your friends. All you need to do is to purchase the book. The person who is coordinating the book, like Cousins, that group leader, received her free autographed copy of the book. So that's some incentive. And so remember, because those three books are a little more spicy and juicy, I won't be reading these out for viewing. That's for personal. And so another reason I wanted to come on tonight was for two reasons. Two more reasons. Wish all of the mothers a happy Mother's Day. Yes, and as you see, I have my balloons there. I saw my sister and one of my nieces, Nubia, this afternoon, so they got their stuff. The balloons left are for my niece, Shakiba, and I got her card, and for my mom. And so I just wanted to wish everyone a very, very happy and safe Mother's Day. And you don't have to have biologically pushed a child out your body to have been or be a mom or a mother figure. And I am testimony of that. I love my sister's children as though they came from my body. I get new sons and daughters as a professor every semester. I have long-lasting relationships. I have students who call me Mama or Mama D, just Mama. And so I just think that's a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful thing. And stay encouraged on this Mother's Day. And for those whose mothers have gone on to be with the Lord, God bless you. And we send up prayers, and we can still pay homage to those who have gone on before us. And I'm grateful to still have my mom here. And so the other thing I wanted to do is congratulate the graduates. Yes, you can't see this, but I'm an HBCU grad from the illustrious North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. And I want to wish all of my students, I've been receiving hits from you all day. Dr. Dick, thank you. I did it. I graduated. You know, you helped me. And so I just want to congratulate all of the graduates, no matter where you graduated from. A special shout out to Dr. Shaka Walker, who received her doctorate degree from High Point University on Monday. She graduated on today. Congratulations, Shaka. Dr. Walker. Yes, yes. And so because I am HBCU bound, I got to give it. AGGIEPRIDE. Give me that. Give me that. Woo! Give me that. Give me that. Yeah. Aggie Pride. I love A&T. Yes, yes, I love it. You all remain safe, stay blessed, maintain social distance, wear your masks. Thank you for tuning in, for hanging in with me. And I will see you Tuesday at 7 o'clock for our final chapter, chapter 23 of Them Zee's Daughters. And don't forget, if you have groups of 5 or more, or if you're in a book club, hit me up, DM me, and we can make it happen. I am so excited about my book club group reading that's starting on Wednesday. I'm excited. So thank you, everybody for tuning in and hanging with me. And I say, see Miss Michelle Wall Austin. Thank you, Miss Michelle. You have a happy Mother's Day too. My niece, I'll see you tomorrow morning to give you your balloons and your card. Thank you all for tuning in. You didn't have to, but you did anyway. Peace.